We all know that Albert Einstein was the greatest genius in history. So much genius that he alone could have fought more than thousands of scientists. Einstein thought and understood things that we humans can't even think of. And he made it easy for the whole world. Albert Einstein was a physicist who made the laws of theory of relativity, E is equals to mc squared, and photoelectric effect, and left the whole world surprised and worried. And because of this, he was also awarded the Nobel Prize. Looking at his extraordinary thinking and understanding skills, people thought that Einstein had a special brain that was very different from us ordinary humans. Even Einstein himself had an idea about this. That's why he didn't want to do any research on any part of his body after his death. In fact, he had given instructions to burn his body to ashes after his death. But then the same thing happened that Einstein was afraid of. On April 18th, 1955, when Einstein died in Princeton Hospital, the doctor who came to know the cause of his death secretly removed Einstein's brain, because he was curious to know what was in the brain of the world's greatest genius. Welcome back to Being Mysterious Videos. Viewers, Dr. Thomas Harvey was the one who stole Einstein's brain, who was more interested in studying this special brain than the consequences of being with him. A few days later, when Princeton Hospital found out about Dr. Harvey's action, he had to quit his job. But Dr. Harvey managed to get permission from Einstein's son, Hans Albert, that he wants to unveil the secret hidden in his father's special brain and bring it to the world. After that day began the longest journey of this brain. Dr. Harvey was a pathologist who only knew how to do post-mortem. It was his only thought that he would be able to do research on the brain of such a great genius. Now the condition was that Dr. Harvey had washed his hands of the job of Princeton Hospital and also the position of his pathologist. Einstein's brain, which Dr. Harvey had already preserved, he took it to the city of Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, where he took many photos of the brain and then cut it into 240 small pieces, preserved each piece in a separate jar and hid it in his basement. Dr. Harvey had many fights with his wife about this problem because his wife often threatened that she would pick up this brain and throw it somewhere. One day the fight got so big that both husband and wife had to divorce and separate. And Dr. Harvey took the brain and went to the city of Kansas, Wichita, where he started working as a medical supervisor in a biological testing lab. And here he tried to study Einstein's brain well in his free time. After that, he left different jobs and traveled to different cities with this brain. Many years had passed, but Dr. Harvey could not do any special research on Einstein's brain. Instead, his medical license was cancelled, and the situation got so bad that he had to start a job in a plastic factory. That's when he made a good decision for the first time that he would send different parts of his brain to the world's best neuropathologists for detailed research. So he did. After 30 years of brain theft, in 1955, that is, in 1985, a study was published on Einstein's brain for the first time. After that, for the next 28 years, many studies were published by neuropathologists around the world on this genius brain, in which it was said that Einstein's brain was very different from a normal human brain. The biggest difference was found in the part called the corpus callosum of the brain. Now, it is important to know that the human brain is divided into two different parts. Whatever a person does, it is first processed in one part of the brain, and then the brain signals that part of our body. The left brain controls the right part of our body, while the right brain controls the left part of our body. In addition, 90% of people's left brain works while speaking, understanding, mathematical calculations, and writing, while the right brain has the responsibility of recognizing creativity, shapes, art, and musical skills. Now, you must be wondering, what is the purpose of the corpus callosum in all this? Suppose you are typing on a keyboard or on a mobile phone. During this time, both our hands are busy typing. Some alphabets are typed by our right hand, some by our left hand. If you make a mistake with your left hand while typing, you immediately use your right hand to correct that mistake. So it means that when we made a mistake with our right brain, it immediately gave a signal to the left brain to correct that mistake. The thing through which both parts of the brain communicate is called the corpus callosum. And Einstein's corpus callosum was slightly larger than that of ordinary humans. That is, their left and right brains had a very strong connection with each other. Because of this, Einstein could imagine a lot of complex problems and situations at the same time. In addition to the large corpus callosum, Einstein's brain pattern was also very different from that of ordinary humans. And researchers believe that the flow of neurons in the brain was much better because of this. A good flow of neurons means that their mathematical calculations power was very strong. Albert Einstein had the ability to solve complex mathematical problems without a pen and paper with the help of his brain. Another reason for the high number of neurons is also mentioned in research papers. When Einstein's brain was weighed, it weighed 1230 grams, while ordinary humans weigh 1400 grams. Researchers believe that the lining of his brain was very thin, which is why more neurons were found in it. But the biggest question was still there. Was Einstein born with such a special brain, or did it change after his birth? After the test, it was found that when Albert Einstein was born, he could not speak for 5 years, while other children start speaking at the age of 2 or 3 years. Even when he started speaking, he did not like to speak much, but he was always lost in his own thoughts. He had very little power to memorize things. In fact, it was difficult for him to even remember simple math tables. He was a master of processing maths and numbers in a logical way rather than memorizing them. In school life, Einstein failed in every other subject. Only math and science were the only subjects in which Einstein's numbers were the highest. When Albert Einstein was 12 years old, a family teacher forgot his geometry book with him. Surprisingly, in just one day, Einstein read the whole book and cleared the concepts of his geometry. Not only that, but at the age of 14, he had become a master of integral and differential calculus. He had such a strong grip on math and science that when he raised his hand to ask a question in the classroom, the professors were scared. Because Einstein's questions often passed over the teachers. At a young age, he wanted to put the laws of this universe in a small equation. And that's what he had made the purpose of his life. At the age of 26, Einstein published 4 research papers and amazed the whole world. And for this reason, he was awarded the Nobel Prize for playing a great role in the degree of PhD and for humanity. You can guess it just by the fact that science is still incomplete without Einstein's thesis. Many doctors and scientists concluded that Einstein's brain was special after he was born. The biggest reason for this was that when he didn't get any answer to his questions, he used to look for answers with his own brain. At a young age, his brain developed accordingly. Even today, Einstein's extraordinary brain is presented in the Mutter Museum in America, which has been preserved in microscopic films with great care. Even after decades, Einstein's brain still reminds us that true genius isn't just about knowledge, It's about never stopping to question the world around you. What do you think what made Einstein so extraordinary? His brain or his curiosity? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, keep wondering, keep questioning, and keep being mysterious.